Okay, so let's look at how to do a pretty simple operation here, but we're going to look at how to graph two little columns in Excel together. So you can see I've done this already here with the delta volume column and the delta temperature column. So those two are already graphed here. So let me show you how to do another one. If I wanted to graph, let's say, things under alloy G2, well, I can click on that column and I can shift and click on 9, and that highlights this entire row. And if you're on a Mac, click Command and then just drag, click and drag on whatever the other column is you want to graph it to. Since we would like to see what that is in a scatter plot, if we were to click Scatter, Marked Scatter, and you can see here we have a marked scatter plot, but it's not as pretty as that. So we need to format the axes by clicking, Control-click on the axis and click Format Axis. And you're going to look at this spot right here. The vertical axis crosses at. So now let's look at where we want it to cross. So we have our vertical axis crossing at 0. That is what we want. At least I think that's what we want. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, and so now we're going to Control-click on our other axis. We're going to say we want that to cross at 21. So now it's graphed it underneath like this. So that's one way you can do it. Another way, actually, never mind. Horizontal axis, what am I doing here? Horizontal axis crosses at Oh, sorry, I was entering the opposite of what I was supposed to be entering. Should be crossing at -30. And now it's being finicky. Hold on. There we go. And since now it's not going correct on the other axis, sometimes that happens, we need to look at where we want it to be on the other axis, which is at 30. At least I think that's what that says. Let's expand this. And maybe where we can see. -20, that's it. So we're going to Control-click on that, Format Axis, -20. Oh yeah, no. Yes. -20. Okay. And so now we have a pretty little graph of distance versus temperature. And that is pretty much how you do that. If you wanted to graph a trend line or plot a trend line, you Control-click on one of the points and click Add Trend Line. Since this looked pretty linear, I would just leave it as linear, but you can say your options, display your equation and your R value, or your R squared value, also on the table or the graph, which sometimes
see something.